Hello everybody, Big Planes here. Now before I dive too deep into this video on Concorde, I want to give a shout out to my patrons supporting the channel over on Patreon. So thank you to everybody over on Patreon who helps us support the channel. They are one of the reasons why I'm actually able to build these planes. So if you want to go support the channel over on Patreon, I will leave a link in the description below. So we're making pretty good progress on this plane, and I sort of had to stop and make a video right now about where we are at right now because I want to keep going, and we're moving really quickly on this. Now, I know I only put a video out, what, 2 days ago, 3 days ago? Something along those lines, but we're moving really fast here, and this is going to be a lot of fun, so I want to share with you some updates that I've made. Now, not as dramatic of a update as the last video. We haven't made as much progress as we had in the last video, but I did think that we made some worthwhile progress that is worth sharing with you. So I'm going to start with the sort of obvious one, and okay, but maybe sort of obvious, but the windows. I got a lot of comments on the last ones, or at least a couple comments on the last video saying that the windows were too close together, and even worse is that the technique I used, where I used cheese slopes above the 1x1 tiles, it looked too jagged. So what I did is I made them more spread apart. So instead of there being one stud between each window now, there is 2 studs between each window. And this actually allows it to be a bit smoother, look a little bit more accurate in my opinion. And actually it's a little sturdier now too because, you know, it is less segmented. There's actually more of those 2 wide connection points, which is much more stable. Now, some other progress has been made. Like, a lot of this is not complete yet, so if you see something that looks a little bit off, just be aware that it's not really done yet and that there's still a lot of work to be done. But the Deltawing is coming along very, very nicely, and you can see that I have temporarily sort of just attached on these outer panels right here. You can see the quite obvious line right there down the center, and I have not extended out yet the leading edge. So right here you can see that there's nothing here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these curved slopes and I'm going to run them along the leading edge here and then all the way back. And then obviously in the bottom I'm going to build plates and stuff, and it'll be all clean and compact. But that's what I'm going for with the Deltawing. So this general shape, oh, and there will be the afterburners right here, and there will be more slopes coming back this way. But what you see here is the general shape of the Deltawing. I'm going to try to get you up a little higher. Oh, there you go. That's what the Deltawing's going to look like. So if any of you guys were wondering, that's what it's going to look like. I have not gotten the leading edge on yet, so do be aware there. But really, really good progress to the Deltawing, and it's coming along nicely. This was one of the parts of Concorde that I knew from the start would be incredibly challenging because the Deltawing on this thing is really one of the defining characteristics. I mean, it's really one of the thing that makes it look like Concorde other than the nose. So getting this smooth is a top priority. Some more smaller stuff here. I finally added in those door cutouts. I know the one towards the front of the aircraft is actually offset. The door on this side is offset from the door on that side, but we haven't got to the nose yet. But here you can see I've added some doors here. I have not put the doors in yet, so I just have the cutouts, but I also have some back here. I know these should be smaller. I might add the slope in here just to make that more accurate. But there should also be another door back here. But there are door cutouts now, which I am pretty happy about. I think those look really, really nice. And hopefully I have ordered the parts for the doors because they need more specialty parts because of the design I'm using. So hopefully in the next update, the doors will actually be in and functional. But that's what I've done really there for the interior. I have still the same seat layout on the interior, but the last thing I really want to talk about here, you can kind of see it from this angle, are the engines. Now the engines are not done, all right? I just sort of have a shell and outline. There's still a lot of work that needs to go into them, but I'll get kind of lower down for you here. You can see that I have them sort of just laid out where I think they're going to be. Like I said, this is not final placement. They are not done. There's not even an undersurface. You can see it's not done. So there's still a lot that needs to happen there, but I think we have made some really good progress on the engines. And what I'm thinking is I'm going to put a battery pack in each engine, and then back here for the afterburners, I'm going to have the, what are they called? Reverse thrusters, where the buckets sort of open up, and I will have lights in here and everything. So it's going to look really cool. trust me on that one. But yeah, that's where we're at right now with Concorde. This is a relatively quick update, but we are moving really quickly on this thing, and yeah, it's really fun. I'm glad that we're finally building this plane. It's been way too long, way too long put off. Okay, I meant to do this thing years ago, and we are finally getting to it. So that's all I really have for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll be sticking around for more videos on Concorde soon. So that's really it for this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and bye for now.